Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I am streaming some 2D 4X once again. Most weekends I do this. Almost all weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. You've got to clarify what a weekend is. 2D 4X is a 2D 4X game made in Godot. The C# version of Godot, the .NET version, and it's post-apocalyptic. We're working with this. This is our test area here, which is Oregon and one county in not a real county. The real counties you can actually see them on here. These little lines. But this is from the map that I grabbed off the internet. Today we're working on loyalty again, and we're almost done with this. I say this every time, so I should stop saying it, but one day we're going to push to main here. It's been like 3-4 months since I pushed to main, and I'm going to make it smaller chunks before going forward. We're going to also, I just dawned on me, I want to do this. So I'm going to do it right now, even though wasn't part of the plan at all today. When I looked at it, I was like, yeah. So basically I looked in this, I was getting things ready, and I looked, you know what? I put the word data at the end of all of my Godot resources, and this one doesn't have it. And I've been wanting to change this from county population just to population. So what we're going to change it to right now is, and this has nothing to do with anything, I just want to change it. We're going to change this to population data. That's what we're going to do. We're going to enter there. And we're going to close this thing. We're going to open this up. And then we're going to change this to population data. And I'm going to probably call it county population for all of eternity. I got to reopen it. But that's what we're going to do. And so now we've done it. Then we're also going to find county population. Actually, what is it? Control H. Yeah, and we'll change that to population data. Yeah, let's do it. Oh. We've already run into a problem. That's fine. We'll rename that list. I'm doing it. There's gonna be a lot of these. I'm doing it manually, looking at all of these just to, see. You know what we can do instead? Actually, for this, let's do it with this rename for these ones. And then this one we'll go through and we'll see what. Oh, it only did it in that one. Is that how that works? Yeah, it's only going to do it in this thing. So we got to do it this way. It's fine. Get out of here. Control H. Yeah, I don't do find and replace very frequently. But let's go through these. This is going to get error out at the beginning, but we'll go back. I'm just making sure that there's this list that we're going to have to update. I just keep an eye on what weird shit I'm causing here. Oh, well, we can fix it right here. So there's that list is fixed. And there's still probably going to be, I always find other things that, it might not be called population data. It might have a typo or something in it. So we'll see. It's always annoyed me that this is called county population for the longest time. And you know what? What's it with no time like the present, as they say. It's going to do all this. This is exciting fun. So I'm laughing. It's like I was about to say, it's like me editing an Excel file or something. But what's funny is I do have an Excel file that I sometimes edit on stream because it's for the translations. The localization is in an Excel file. Yeah, this is looking good. I'm not seeing anything crazy where I'm named county population something outrageous here. And then we'll build it to make sure once this is all done, we use this. County population is one of the most important, I guess, data sets in the whole game. Look how that lines up perfectly now. Population data, heroes and county lists. Yeah. that looks so good. It wasn't on purpose. I didn't know I was gonna do that perfectly line up, but that I don't know why. I'm enjoying that greatly. What the fuck are we changing here? It's probably behind. We'll just assume it's fine. We'll run it. This is gonna cause some other weird shit to happen. I see a red thing. How many errors do we got? Only 11? That's not bad. See, what's your problem? Huh. Well, we'll figure it out. Oh, there it is. That solved that problem. A lot of stuff open after this. Look at all this code. So much code. Wonder how much of it I can delete. I just noticed another thing too. Look at all these. Another thing too, that it should have been an enum, but it was back. It's such old code that it was before I knew the power. I mean, I knew the power. I just wasn't applying the power of enums. I read something, or it was like a video or something that said, like, if you have a bool, pretty much 90% of the time you can use an enum instead, because you might have 3 choices for a bool. And that's what instead of having 2 bools to get 3 choices, you can do an enum. And I see a spot where I did like a bunch of bools. Hey, Suki, how's it going? I did a bunch of bools that basically it should have been an enum, and I put a note in there. So we're not going to do that today. We're just going to leave that note there, and one day I'll do the same. One day I'll do the same thing I'm doing right here, where I just can't take it anymore, and I'll change it to a bool or to an enum, and it's gonna will cause all sorts of issues. But this should just be, this find replace thing. I'm doing good. I just decided for no apparent reason to update this name because I've been wanting to for a while. So that's what we're doing. We're just going through. I'm just eyeballing it. I like to eyeball it sometimes. See what I'm hitting here. A simple interpreter. What does that mean? We're getting there. I'm feeling like we're getting close. We got 18 errors though. That's not good. But I'm betting it's like one thing needs to be renamed. I like that all of these, like that one right there. Population row button, huh? So I've always wondered why some people like have scripting languages for their own games or whatever, because that seems like so much more work. So when you made your own scripting language, does it save you work over time? Like, this is also has come up in the past where, my job, sometimes it takes more time to automate something than it does just to do it manually. And it's always like this question, like, should I take the time to figure out how to automate this? I'm staring at this because I think we want to change that selected county population too. We might have to do that later. Not at all. It does not take you more time. So it does help. No, wait. It does help, or it doesn't help. There we go. That should get rid. Oh yeah. No. Okay. That didn't help. Nice. I mean, that's what I always assume, but then sometimes I'm always I'm often surprised when I'm like, wait, they created their own scripting language for this part of this thing, I do know that there's like parts of this game where I kind of want to build like more of a foundation for future. I'm not describing this very well. So like the map editor that is very primitive at this point, I would like to make it so that it has better, the ability to make larger changes to the game through, instead of with code, you would start the map editor and stuff like that. So there was, I'm trying to think of the game, but it doesn't matter what game, but sometimes uh, there'll be some part of a game that because I play a lot of indie games on my other channel that has like an unusual mechanic in it where you can like whatever modify building something crazy or something. And I often wonder if they did that because they needed it to create the game, so then they just allowed the player to do it too. um, oh, yours is in C++. I guess I didn't remember that. That's what I should have learned with C++. Naming variables and functions with numbers. I'm reading while I'm while I'm hitting enter. I feel like we're close here though. Oh, that's like the thing that I always complain about that I never want to do. I hate when the things are named with numbers because my brain doesn't operate in numbers, you know? So there's another one, Faction County Population Destroyer. We'll run into that. We'll have to change it to population data. I mean, we could search and do it, but when we stumble across them, we'll get rid of, yeah, we can change that, even though it's going to break other things. Where was that? Oh, it's too late now. It's gone forever. We're going to break some label things here. Gotta remember that. Probably a number of things, and they're going to be somewhat hard to find. That because I dragged and dropped them. And this is all commented out. We'll probably delete most of that crap later. Dragged and dropped. Yeah. It's like leaning. Man, I look unusually dark. I can't camera today. My light's going or something. I guess it's kind of dark outside. I open up my window. The blinds on my window usually. Man, I used population data the whole time. This game is it's the key component here. We got to be getting close though. Oh, you guys can see the tab, that little tab thing was appeared on my other screen for a second. All this commented code, man. Commented out code. I want to see your game when it's done or when it's in alpha. Games are never done these days, I guess. That's the you're never allowed to finish your game. The community gets mad. They have people that are like moved on to a new game, and they're like, and you read on their like Steam reviews, it's like this person moved to a new game. Fuck them. It's like what? At some point they have to stop. I'm so old, you know, that I remember the days when you got a game and that was it. There was no updates. If it had a bug in it, you were just fucked. Wait, your scripting language does, or the C++? I thought C++ you can it wasn't anywhere similar to Python. Because Python doesn't have the brackets and shit, right? Just making sure that was what I wanted to change there. We got to be somewhere close. And all this shit. Okay. All right. I thought I was misunderstanding. I haven't looked at C++ for a long time. Probably, like I said, that probably should be the language I started with. I know it's supposed to be hard and all that, but it's one of those things where it's like so foundational. We're getting there. I just like to throw a wrench in my plans for the day. You got a repo for the game or for your scripting language? Sorry. So close. I feel. Oh, there we go. All right. What are all these errors? We got 29 errors. This doesn't exist. I think I saw. Well, oh, okay. No, wait. The errors are fixing themselves as we wait here. That was weird. Uh, we've had a lot of these messages already. This cannot be read only. What are you talking about, man? All right, let's build this thing and see the chaos. I didn't know if like you had a separate repo for the scripting game or for the scripting language, even if it is a you can post a link if you want. I'm always down to look at other code, especially C# code with scripting. Like we didn't get any errors. I don't believe you. All right, so that was unexpected. This is the problem we're gonna get though, is that when we run this, there's a bunch of labels that need updating now because I saw they were called things. Great War. I'm going to click on this, except I'm not going to click through OBS because then it does something weird. You have a new main branch. You got instructions for building. That's always so nice when I see, when I see instructions for building. Let me fix something on my other monitor here. We got some resources. We got some JSON files. What is the? I know you've already told me this. What is the? What is this game? Oh, look, your branches are all clean. That's so unusual. It's an RTS. Awesome. And in Great War, I'm assuming World War I. I need to follow. How do I follow this? Do I star it? Watch it. I'm going to do all activity. I feel like there are not enough World War I games. I mean, I know there's a bunch out there, but I feel like there's not enough. There was that one that's somewhat recent. God, what was it called? It was something. Was it called Great War? Look how shitty this computer is. It was this one. This one was somewhat recent. It's pretty bad. Oh, it's got mixed reviews. When it came out, there was like a lot of fanfare about how good it was. And I guess over time, people have agreed with it. Everyone was like, "You're wrong. This game's amazing." And I was like, "No, this game's pretty bad, man." But I guess it's people have slowly, you know, I say agreed with me, but they probably don't know, have never heard of, yeah. So there's that game, and I gave this game multiple. So I streamed it once, and then after, like, and I was like, I don't really like this. And, you know, I thought maybe this is a personal opinion too. You know, just I personally didn't like it because, like I said, there was a lot of fanfare about how good it was. And then I gave it multiple shots offline because I thought maybe I'm missing the point of it, and I didn't like it very much. And there was this other game that was actually pretty good. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it had some major bugs. It had some crazy name. Inspired by Hearts of Iron. Hearts of Iron is fuck good. So I'm glad I followed your GitHub. Man, what is the name of that other? I can envision. What's another name for World War One besides the Great War? It was really complicated. I can't remember. If it comes to me, we'll look it up. But it was really buggy. And when I looked at, because I thought about buying it, I pirated it originally, and I was gonna buy it, and I noticed that it had all the reviews are like it's still buggy and stuff. What was it called? It was extremely complicated, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You know, it just has a you gotta like play for a while and be like, oh, this is how this works. Let me restart my game. You know, um, man, if I think of it, I'll go back. Let's see what happened over here. We should have some label issues. Not seeing any. Do we not get any bugs? Get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna do it again. $2 to $3. That's pretty inexpensive, man. That's pretty. Is it like what kind of how many hours of content are there? That's what everyone judges everything by now. Where else would we be missing labels? I'm not seeing anything. Maybe we could search up here. Except none of these are going to be named that. See, like, they're going to be called county population. Let's do county population. Man, so and I know I've already asked you this too, I'm sorry. My memory is trash. But are you using an engine? Maybe I never named anything county population because it was always like name and stuff. So maybe we lucked out. I swear I saw one that was oh, it's right here. County info panel. Population data label. Well, the county info panel is this thing. I don't see any. Carl Howard. Oh, maybe up here? No, he's right there. So I was curious because like a lot of times like with Godot and Unity making modding support, which I definitely want to do on mine, is kind of difficult. And so I was curious if the engine you picked had built-in modding support. Not difficult, it's just that there isn't much documentation on it because modding, I think modding is at this day and age pretty much a requirement for video games. I can't find where that thing is. What is this thing? And this is the one where it's saying make it read only too. Wonder why. Are we not using this thing? No, it's right here. Update county population label. Population. Oh, none of this stuff is saved. That's why we weren't having any issues. There we go. Now we can get our issues. Now we can do this. Now the chaos can start. Okay, we didn't have any build issues. Yeah, a $2 video game's that's pretty outrageously good. I don't even think that's normally a possibility. Okay, so we can't even open this. Yeah, each time I click on it, I get a thing. And it's this thing. So let's look here. That's going to be population data label. Luckily, I only have like a few labels in here. Let's see here. So it should be, if I did how I normally do it, it should be named, you know, county population something. It's going to take me like 2 hours to figure out where this thing is. All right, so what county scrap population data? So that would, okay, so that's oh, we can't look at it. That should be one of what's above it? County scrap population list button. Containers and shit. Idle workers number. This is a button, though. I think it's this one. But that means I named this wrong in the first place. Let's see. Let's leave that, and then we'll rename. We'll fix it here. Why don't you want to make it free to play? And once again, I have ideas about this, but I'm curious what yours. $11666. Okay, so this is population. I remember this being a test number. So that's the title. Okay, so I think I know what we're doing, what I did wrong here. This should be the number. We're going to go back up to the top here. And yeah, so this is idle workers number, visitor. So this should be number. I put in the title. So this one, well, let's make sure it works, but let's rename it. See, I screwed myself by not following my own thing. My own protocols, my own rules. There we go. All right, so that's what this is. Let's rename this again. These are all named wrong and shit. Are we on the right thing? We are. So this should actually be called population number something. What did I call this? Population data number. Except we want that in there. And then we'll save this. And we'll go back over here. And we'll put... Yeah, it doesn't look like I did any of this right, but we'll do that. We'll build this. Are you going to charge for like DLC? I wish there was a way to reliably get money to modders. Yeah, that's the test text in there. That was where that 666 came from. Oh, little Josh number Satan jokes. No DLC? Are you going to keep expanding it or just you don't want to do the DLC concept? So I've heard the reason, so I was asking about the free-to-play thing is because I've heard that a lot of times games, if you list them in like Steam as free-to-play, what happens is that people just ignore it because there's so much, I guess they're calling it slop these days, free-to-play slop out there, and that it's like, you know, you're overwhelmed with free-to-play garbage, so no one plays games that are good that are free-to-play, you know. Yeah, keep expanding. I kind of want to do the same thing. I don't want to charge, you know, I don't want to charge for DLC, so why even have it called DLC just yet? Just keep releasing it out. So I think that was the only error so far. We'll probably run into another one somewhere, but that seems to have fixed this. Let's just click around. Let's spawn this guy again. No bugs. Let's move him somewhere. Go over here. Very slowly. Go over here slowly. There we go. We are, and I'm stoked to see other people also. I love strategy games, and I feel like there's just not enough of them out there. Doesn't feel easier. Yeah, but it does have all the tools built in. I know what you mean. And I know I've probably already asked you this. See, it still says it make this read only. I wonder why it's obsessed with that. It should do that with all of these. Why didn't you use engine? All right, so we're done with the chaos that I forced on myself, and now we'll get to that's it. Were you experienced C++ person before you started? You like the struggle? Well, it makes sense. All right, so now we're gonna do the loyalty thing. This I remember. Oh, maybe not. Let's just get rid of it. This is that weird thing. It says use switch expression, but I don't know why. Oh, that read-only thing just disappeared on its own. It's a challenge, man. Like that's so far above my head. I'm impressed. Decide if selected. Look at this interesting thing. These are the See, this one still has select county. Yeah, maybe we won't. I've been wanting to get rid of these. We can remove this unused parameter though, right? Oh, this is probably the one where it has, no? This is here for a reason. I'm going to comment it out because it's for a note in the future, but I think this is so old. Get out of here. Oh, we're back to this because I got rid of that faction data and we don't need it. I just don't like these messages. Oh, and then this is what I was working on yesterday. Yesterday, I made this major change to my code because I didn't remember how my old code worked, and then it turned out that my old code was working correctly in the first place, so then I had to bring it back. Remove researcher can be static, you tell me, huh? Let's see what this one is. Get list of available hero researchers. I was passing in a player data. Where are we at here? This is in research. A player faction data. But we never used it. So let's get it out of here. Now we're down to 3. This is amazing. I guess we'll do this too. Public. Some of these it's not true. They cannot use static. So at that point I build it after. Yeah, well, we got other issues now. It seems like this needs this in here, but it says it. Yeah, what's going on here? Oh, it's the static thing is killing it. All right, that was a different. Bring us back over there. Bring us back over there. What did I have in here? There we go. Get out of here. So this was the one where it said I could get rid of that, but then shouldn't. It's weird. We need to go back to this one though and put this can't be static. So let's add this to the list of. I have a sneeze. I have a feel of sneeze coming on here. I'm like holding it back with pure willpower right now because I want to finish suppress configuration in suppression. Oh, it went away. We're okay. Okay, so we're going to suppress that area. It looks like some of these don't need to be around anymore because I've fixed things. Did I not just suppress you, man? Oh, now it's back. The sneezes. Oh, there, it just was taking forever. Yeah, I need to get a new computer. I just don't want to do it. I don't want to spend the money. I'm extremely cheap. Yeah, I'm looking for how many years, months, how much time do you think until you'll be done with your game? I should have double checked these. Okay, that didn't actually air out when we did that. Let's run it though. Oh, wow, that's fast. There was this guy, this dude here, Clockwork Dawn guy, he did this whole game in 8 months so far. He's only on 0.6. I mean, it's probably 9 months at this point, but he's only on 0.6, but it's like a working, like, game, you know? And he's been slowly adding stuff. He's going to add the new world and things. It's pretty good. It's like, it's a little primitive, but it's pretty good. You can colonize. It's like, it's kind of like, you know, Victoria or EU4, and it just has like, you know, simpler than those games, but it like in a steampunk way because you can like colonize the ocean and stuff. Okay, this is looking good. We're getting bugs over here. We're not. Let's deal with this last mess or these last two. Spawn. I don't believe you either, but we'll see. Maybe it does. Maybe it can't be static. Yeah, I didn't think so. We'll suppress this one. I mean, probably there's a better way to write it, but we're going to just pretend that. There used to be another way to put these things on the list, on the suppression list, and I keep trying to do it that old way. And then update hero static. This one is lies. Yeah, because we're calling an instance of it. Where were we at here? Go over here. Oh, we're calling an instance of that thing. So this can't be static, so we will suppress this as well. And then we'll just leave that one that says switch statement because I don't actually understand what it wants. And I'll have to like look up. I'll have to learn something. All right, get the fuck out of here. All right. Wait, one more? I thought I just suppressed you. Take your time. I'm gonna drink some coffee while you figure it out. Thank you. There we go. You made a scripting language in 1 day? All right, there we go. Now we can work on the loyalty thing. Well, we gotta close a bunch of these. We don't need this shit open. We might need that today. We might need that today. I'm in deep thought there because I don't think I have on the list when we will have the AI do this stuff. Like when we'll have them decide to build things. Some of this stuff we don't need at all. Battle control, county dictator. Whoops. We don't need that one. Controls. Research, skill data, spawn token, token movement, token spawner. We don't need this action. We don't need token movement either. We don't need spawn token button. Global suppressions. We don't need that. I think we're pretty good. I think I need to put a note in here. So, do I have a note in here? I don't think I do. So what I think we need to do, I keep moving around this stuff. And so it's like, I say, oh, next, when we're done with this, we're going to work on this. And then I put something in between it, and then we just keep flip-flopping around. So we need to put this kind of, these two AI things. What do I have next on my list currently? Let's do this. Double check how the AI is selecting improvements to be built. We're kind of doing that because I noticed that Douglas, the county, is building a garden. It's like one of the next things. Yeah, right there. But we'll do this, and we'll double check this. We're we're so close, except I keep adding new things. So, anyways, now we're gonna work on the loyalty thing again. So, what we want to do now? Yesterday we went through a bunch of loyalty thing because I forgot how it worked. And there's two different ways loyalty is checked, which I didn't remember. How are you going to do diplomacy? I'm always curious because I feel like current strategy games have like people have given up on diplomacy, on making diplomacy more complicated. So what we got to do yesterday. There's two different types of loyalty checks. There's one that just checks if it's above a certain loyalty, and then there's another one that does a random roll. And I want to have the random roll once a week. And so we added in this clock where it fires an events now at hour 1, hour 2, and hour 3, and then once a week, it's going to invoke this weekly one. That sounds awesome. There is somebody asked on like Reddit or something, like, I think they were talking about Hearts of Iron or Victoria 3 or something. They were like, is this game really this easy to understand, or am I missing something? And I was like, yeah, they're probably missing something. So I'm going to rename this, and we're going to just call this, yesterday I was saying that I wanted it to be occasional, but no, this is going to be weekly events. So we're going to have weekly event, which is 7. So it's going to be, if there's no remainder, this is going to fire on day 1, hour 2. So we're going to have these weekly events, and we have them in the faction thing now. It's just like a placeholder. And we also have them in the county thing now. And it looks like I started, yeah. So I started in the county. Work week over for population. We were starting to get to this. Then I went down through the loyalty rabbit hole of me not remembering how loyalty worked. So in here, check loyalty with skill check. If they fail it, they're going to remove from so this is how we actually want it. and this is going to happen weekly. Let's double check that I have this set up right. Weekly, it's going to run this thing. Oh, I remember why I was like, oh, that's not going to work though. And it's not going to work. So what we wanted to do actually is have. So the problem with this is, let's say you hire somebody on a Saturday. This runs every Sunday. They'll get a loyalty check on Sunday. So you might hire someone, then they'll fail the loyalty check the next day, and so it's not really a week. So the problem with this is we need basically an event to fire when that would check every day at day start. But man, that's a lot of checking. So what we would do is we would have it at every day at day start. Can we have it at end of day? End of day, let's say. Every day at end of day, we have it check a loyalty check if the person's loyal or a number of days that they've worked is over 7. So that way, if you hired them on a Saturday, it's not going to check again until next Saturday. So that's the way we want to do it, which is more checks. So I wonder if we can squeeze that into somewhere else. So that's going to be end of day, we're thinking. When is end of day? So we have these workday over for population. Budget. Like your budget for research or a budget for your whole country? Oh, nice. That's another thing that I feel like a lot of games too, that there's not much. I would say it's like 50-50 where you can adjust where you spend your money. A lot of times it's just like kind of hard coded in. Uh, Especially Paradox games. I'm trying to think, like with Victoria 3, you don't really. I guess you do have a budget, a little bit of, you can add more people or more. You can pay like the military more and stuff. But I remember back, I think it was like EU3 or something. There was like a slider where you could slide stuff back and forth. Like you could try to put more towards one thing. You know how a slider works. All right, what the fuck is this? So this is. We used to have it at the bottom here, and I took it out. Yeah, keep working at county improvement is what it was called. So what we could do, and I think we should turn this into a method instead of having all the code slammed into this fucking thing. Is this all check for goods? Has enough goods? It is. Oh no, it's kind of like buried. It has. I want to make these methods right now I want to basically make this look nicer. I think I wrote this out here so I can make sure it was all working, then break it in methods. So it looks to me like we have 2 choices here. It goes through all of the input goods, and if any of these are wrong, then it says false. How does this work? Didn't I write this like last weekend? Why can't I remember it? Check if there are enough input goods to proceed with work. And so it starts out as true, and then it goes through the input goods, And if the input good value is greater than the stockpile amount for any of the goods, it says, okay, so then so these are two choices. We need to make this a method has enough goods. So we could leave this has enough goods right here. And we can make this a method that's called, you know what we would do, actually? We would call it, let's do this, check enough goods. And we're going to just do this. We're going to generate this puppy. And then we're going to cut. Where'd you go? Here it is. We're not going to have it all the way down here. I mean, I guess we don't have much choice. This is a big, long pile of shit. Now we'll put that there. We're going to cut this. We're going to put, whoa. We're going to cut this. How are you doing research? Like a normal research tree? And you said World War One, is it gonna do like a fantasy World War One or like real World War One? We need to pass an accounting improvement, it looks like. The whole world for World War One? Nice. Historical, I guess, is the better. I could have put it better. And then it looks like we also need a population data, which is, you know, the new term. And then has enough goods is going to be different because we're going to put in this thing. And this is going to go here. And then we're going to return has enough input goods. And then we're going to have this be a bool. And then we're going to go back to here. And we're actually going to say like that. But we need to put in our county improvement data and our population data. It'll be easy to be blitzkrieg the whole. Are you gonna have like South American stuff, the whole world? I always like to play Brazil. Brazil is like the best country to play in all of those games because they're not too small where they get stomped, and they're not, but they're big enough where you could pick a side. Sometimes you want to be the good guys. Sometimes you want to be the bad guys. All right, so this should return. I'm gonna double check here. So this starts as true, and if any of these things are false, then it's going to return this. Otherwise, it will be true. Oh, we have a break in here, though. Now, that should work because it will kick it out of this for each loop. It hits the first one, bam, and it's done. I hope. And then this is going to return this, and then if this is true, it will perform this removing. We'll rename this use. What are we in? We're in population work. Use spend. What are we calling it this here? So we want to use the stockpile goods. Spend the stockpile goods. I guess spend stockpile goods. Stockpiled goods. And this needs to be in the hall master, though. We'll generate this, though, just so we have it. It's really, all this commented out code is really a pain in my ass. I guess this is just this. Oh, deduct. let's say deduct. Then we'll cut this. We'll put this down here. And then we need to pass in a county improvement. We'll go county improvement. What was I reading about World War I recently? It was like on Reddit though, so you know what that means. It's it's probably wrong. We need to pass in this county improvement data. All right, so this actually looks a lot cleaner. I know it doesn't look great, but it looks a lot cleaner. What is this break down here? Oh, right there, because we're in a switch. We're doing this in a switch. But I do want to put this in the hall master. The hall master deals with goods. So let's move this. Let's cut this and put him in the hall master here. Just to shove it in anywhere randomly. And then we'll go back over to here. And we'll make the hall master. That was static, so hall master protection level. Yes, it was private. There we go. When I was a kid, this was for more, not World War I, but the trench part made me think of it. When I was a kid, I used to like to draw these like top-down maps of like trench warfare. It was less trench warfare. Like some of it was trench, but whatever. With like musket era technology and cannons and stuff. So it would just be like all these circles, and then it was kind of like an hour would pass in the, and I almost said it in the game, but in my imagination, then I would draw with the same map, like the people dead on the ground and stuff, very like with stick figures and things, and like troops had moved through the trenches or dug things. I'd always get like 2 or 3 of the maps done, and then I'd give up because it was so much work. Because I wanted to have like hundreds of people on the drawing. If I had known about video game, well, I guess if it was easier to make video games back then, I would have probably done that. Okay, so we got this shit going. And we have our skill check. I hope that I didn't just mess anything up, but I'm feeling pretty confident. I kind of want to just delete this. Oh, but no, we can't yet. So we did all that because now we need to check we need to have the check for the people. Are they going to keep working at the place here? It looks like too with building, build is slightly different here than what we had. We don't have all these checking goods and stuff because you pay for your buildings up front. This you pay, they have to stockpile this shit. So at the end of this, so we have 2 different numbers. But I think we actually can do it with 1 number. No, we can't. So we need to go back to our new county data, or sorry, population data. Where the fuck are you? Is it not right in front of my face? Did I close it? Research data. I might have closed it in a flurry of clicking. This is the part that I was talking about earlier that needs to be an enum. But let me find this and I'm going to take a quick break. So what we want to do is have another int here. Public int days employed. Is there 2 E's? English has some crazy ass spelling, man. It is not 2 E's. What was this thing that started moving when I went over? Okay, that's in the right spot. Uh, yeah, let me go take a quick break, and then I will be back, and we'll add this in. So I think what we'll do is we'll have it count days employed, but uh, this is gonna be kind of confusing to the player, but I don't think it's gonna be bad. I think that when I was yammering on earlier, I was in the back of my head, I was thinking about this. I think what's gonna the player isn't gonna quite understand unless they've heard me explain it why occasionally someone will change jobs. But I think we need the people occasionally change jobs, or otherwise things are gonna get stuck, and you're gonna have like these weird. You need some chaos in your life basically for it to not. And it may be that we change it later, but let me put on my break timer and let me put on my break timer and let me pause my music that you guys can't hear, wherever that is. And I will be back in less than 5 minutes. All right, I'm back. And let's see what we're doing here. Loyalty, days employed, employed days idle. Let's put, no, I guess we'll leave it like this. Nice. It's nice to have someone chat. I like to talk. I'm a talker. I went to a party last night. I never go to parties. And I had to do the wallflower thing for like half the party, you know, where you just stand there. Like, somebody come talk to me. Luckily, there was many people who were willing to relieve my social anxiety and come talk to me half the time. People ask me questions, and I felt like that there's no way people are gonna believe these crazy stories I have. They all sounded like bullshit coming out of my mouth. They weren't, but they sounded like it. Um, okay, days employed, employed days idle, and then days starving. Those are all good things that we need. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back now that we have this number. We're gonna go back to our county. Workday over for population. This is going to be the heroes too, huh? We're going to have to think how that's going to work here. So it's going to go through, if they're on work, we need this, we'll move this thing. Population AI, keep working. This is going to be at the very end here. Oh yeah, I renamed it. Do we want it in population AI though? So this is what it's called now. I think I copied this whole line here. We don't need the whole line. We need this. That's actually not what it's going to be called. This is going to be inside that, now that I think about it. So this is going to be under population work or population AI. So population AI is supposed to be like what their thoughts and feelings are. So let's put it in population AI. And this is going to be called, no, we'll put it, we're going to put it here. We're going to call it keep working. I can just copy this stuff. And we'll need to pass that in. We'll put this here. We'll generate this thing. This stupid shit. I'm going to delete this. I don't want it anymore. It's in my way. It's confusing. It's ugly. What's going on here? Do we need this? We don't need this. What was going on there? So we have this, though, which we do need. Is this static? We don't need this to be static. It's just private. What's your problem now? Population work. We're in population work. We're passing this in, but we have this thing, private. What is your problem? We don't want this right now. Are we inside some other thing? We aren't. What is going on? Let's see. An object reference required for non-static. I'm like doing something dumb here. Do you have pictures? Don't feel obligated, by the way. I often feel like when I ask people stuff like that, they feel obligated. Why do you want this to be static? Oh, do you have? I closed it. Let me go back up. Archives. I hope it's okay that I'm showing this in the stream, and you can say, I don't want this in the stream. Looks good. How are you generating these? We got a Hello World. Hello Worlds are good. This is France and Germany. And then we got some other stuff here. Can I zoom in? Not really. Not easily without downloading it. Are you manually? I think you already told me this too. Sorry, my memory's trash. One day. Why do you want this to be static though? Oh, is this up here static? Is that what's going on? Oh, that's why. That's okay. We're fine. We don't care. Keep working at county improvement. So this is going to start keeping track. You made an editor. Are you doing it like with the color coding thing, or are you manually drawing everything? I swear I already asked you this. I'm so sorry. And I'm going to keep apologizing for my terrible memory because it's probably annoying. You know, I have a friend that also has a terrible memory, and I think we just keep telling each other the same stories over and over again. And I think that works well. You know, I like vector art is the way to go. I dragged some stuff. I guess it's not in this game. Godot doesn't handle it the same way. It always turns into like a JPEG or something. They do have some vector. We discussed this, me and chat once, the vector art thing. You can put vector art in, but it changes it to something else. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to test. So two things. So the first thing for the average person, we need to check if days, we need this population data, days employed is greater than 7, greater than or equal to 7, then we're going to have it do a loyalty check. Which was under population AI. Check, loyalty check to keep working at county improvement. And I think we need to pass in something here. Yeah, we need a population data. And let me move this over. So are these little dots, dotted lines, the like different areas? God damn it. The different areas that you can move your troops into. What is this, Luxembourg? Oh, you got your tabs in here now. What is this percentage? This looks like we got $1 million. So are you going to be able, so does the game start where you're already at war, or are you not at war at the beginning? Can you, I'm going to ask you 40,000 questions here. Okay, it's just like 2 questions. But can you see the troops so like if you're France, can you see the troops building up on the border? And because this is like all thoughts of for my game, you know, like I'm like, how are I going to do this and stuff? Or are you going to be able to see all the troops in Germany or wherever, Switzerland? My European geography is. We got an island over here. Malta? No. That'll be fog of war. Well, so for my game, one of the things I really want is to be able to show the troops building up on the border. because it will be important game mechanic of you knowing that like something's going. They like start to worry. Let's double check this thing here. Check loyalty with skill check. So this is what we want. So let's put some notes on this. Not on this part, actually. Oh, you're going to use scouts. Like, do you move the scout in? Is it actually like a physical counter or like a percentage, like Shadow Empire? Like they have a scouting percentage. Let's put a bunch of notes in here because I'm going to forget how this works. Checks uses a loyalty skill check to see if the person wants to keep working at the use a loyalty skill check to see if the person wants to keep working at the improvements. It is a skill check, so it is pure percentile. That's not how you spell that. That isn't either. Percentile. Well, pure 100%. No, I want percentile. How the fuck do you spell anything these days? And percentile. Percentile. It was the easy way. Percentile. Percentile? I had this girlfriend who would always correct my pronunciation. It drove me insane. But it didn't make me understand that I do pronounce things weird. Sometimes, some words. I'm trying to think of an example, but of course, back to my shitty memory. It's pure percentile chance. Then it does another check to see if the person is employed but idle, and also does another loyalty skill check. All right. Sign him to a region. That sounds awesome. How many spies do you get? All right. Keep working at county improvement. If their days employed is greater than 7, loyalty check to keep working at the improvement. If I was just thinking we might want to return something here and break out of this. If population data employed days idle is great. Wait, I put 7 on here. That's not what we want. Globals instant. We're going to need another global in here. Depend on budget. Where am I from originally? I was born in Oregon, but I grew up in San Diego, and now I'm back in Oregon. But I didn't like spend any time in Oregon when I was born here, like 3 months old or something. So like Oregonians are really into like not they don't. Yeah, in the U.S. Oregonians are really into disliking Californians. It's like a thing where they're like, oh, Californians came up here and ruined Oregon, you know? And so when they So I'm, pretty more officially a Californian. And so when they say that, I say, well, actually, I was born in Oregon. Then they don't know what to do. They don't know how to respond. What we're looking for here, it is this public ints days employed before uh, loyalty check. We might have too many loyalty checks in here, but we'll see how it works when the game actually runs. Days, and then we're gonna do this same thing, greater than or equal to globals dot instance dot before they start looking for new work. So originally I was just gonna have them if they're 7 days idle, they would just immediately quit their job. But maybe we should have them do another loyalty. You live in a region with a nation, in a country without a nation. I thought you lived in France. I thought you were French. I guess you said you were speaking French, and I just assumed. I remember that. Oh, you're in Canada. When I visited Montreal, I hung out with a bunch of Anglophones, and I was shocked when they would just like immediately switch to French when they're in conversation with someone in French, a francophone. And I probably shouldn't have been shocked, but I was, because that's such a strange thing in the United States, We need a population data to go in there. Okay. I'm not sure how I like this. Oh, I got a typo in here. Most of this, what do you mean? Like that you guys live in igloos? I didn't know that was a French Canadian thing. I always assumed all Canadians lived in igloos. That's the stereotype that I know about. I always make fun of not make fun, give my Canadian friends. I have a couple of Canadian friends that I just know through the internet. I always ask them about their igloos. I don't think they think it's funny anymore. And then you guys ride mooses to work. That's the stereotype. No, I know, but no, I know that it's the Inuit, but that's like the American joke about Canada's is that they're all really friendly. They live in igloos, and they hang out with moose. Oh, yeah, the maple syrup thing is definitely, the maple syrup cartel. Poutine. Days on. So I guess this is the way we'll do it, but I'm not sure how I like this. So this, I feel like if they fail this one, we shouldn't have it check this one since they've already been removed. So how can we do that? You know what we can do? Yeah, so what we can do, this needs to be saved. I don't know what I did over here, but it needs to be saved. I think it has added a line. What we need to do, we could go if population data current is not equal to null, because they could have been nulled out at this point. We do that. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You guys are becoming the 51st state. That we're having, you know how Fallout, the history in the game Fallout is that the United States invades Canada. So I guess that's gonna happen. Yeah, that's some crazy shit. Governor Trudeau. Totally insane. Trump and his craziness. Employees. Yeah, all right. So then we have this, and then at the end of this, we got to keep. Okay, we got to do this in two different ways. So days employed. Whoops, I was typed in county population. Days employed is always going to go up. That's not true. If we do this, we make this above, we put this up here, and then we over here, we go county population data, days employed equals 0. So we reset it if it goes to here, but then we pump it up one. And since it's over, it will equal days employed will equal 1. It'll work. Who gives a shit? It's close enough. But then this is going to be different. You think Quebec is going to become independent? I don't think that Canada would ever join the United States without a war. If Trudeau agrees, there are a surprisingly large number of Trumpers in Canada, which makes no sense to me. But I mean, it exists. But yeah, I don't think Canada would ever, because like they're. And then how would that even work? Because obviously it wouldn't be the 51st state. It would be, a bunch of states would join because there's all the different Canadian provinces. And then most of the Canadian voters are going to be Democrats. So they would be like the Republicans would be inviting in people that would vote against them. That's why they don't want Puerto Rico to become a state, is because they're mostly Democratic voters. Employed days idle. So this one, how are we going to do this? We need to adjust this number in a different spot. So that's under the hall master. So the hall master, we have this check somewhere. Gather the stockpile goods, and this is our test showed that this was working, I believe. Yeah, it'd be interesting if Quebec became independent. That's where my relatives, like some live in Montreal, but then some live in Quebec City. And when I went to Montreal, I had a chance to visit Quebec City, but I didn't take it. I should have taken it. To go to Quebec City. I don't speak any French though, and it would have been more difficult for me to get it, like understand what was going on, obviously, because I'm a dumb shit. So basically, this is the chance I had. I went to Montreal and I was at a bar and I was talking to these two chicks. One of them didn't speak any English and the other one did, and she was translating for her friend, and those two women invited me to go stay with them in Quebec City, and I didn't understand what they were inviting me for, if you know what I mean, because I was naive. It was basically a weekend of debauchery. I said no, because I'm stupid. Regret it. I'm 50. That was 19 then. I'm 50 and I still regret it. I was saying in a different stream that I have many regrets. I regret that. So this is gathering the stockpile goods. So this is good. Transfer goods and update stockpile. Okay, so here's where we have to do it. So this is a daily thing. We need to have, we'll make this its own thing too. For each population data in county improvements, what was it called? People at improvement. We need to bump that number for them. This is if the stockpile, well, so this is, now we got to know when to reset it too. Okay, I know where we're going to reset it. Let's put this in here. Yeah, okay, so back to, it's under population work. If this is above this, then we go population data, day or whatever it is, employed but idle equals 0. I'm going to put some notes in here. We'll jump back over to the other spot. Resets to the numbers to 0 if they get a check. So it's if they pass their loyalty check. So someone could continue to work at the place, because remember, they're not getting paid money. Someone could continue and employed but idle. So remember, they're not getting paid. They're just working there because you asked them to. They're doing it because you asked them to. So they'll check so if there's no stockpile, they'll continue to just wait if they pass their loyalty check. And because they're going to get another loyalty check once a week, because these could be different numbers, eventually they're going to fail a loyalty check and they're going to go work in the population. And since they're getting 2 of them, this is if they were running out of stockpile. Eventually, so this will happen more frequently. So I think this will work, but I just got to go back to the hall master here. Then we go population, employed days idle ++. Maybe I don't need another method for this. If the stockpile is below the minimum desired amount, update the county improvement status and add a day to each person's employed but idle count. I'm just staring at it like, how are we going to do this to where we can make sure it's working right? Yeah, I was saying this in another stream. I don't know if I think it was when I was talking to you that my mom said that I could get Canadian citizenship. How are we going to test this? Let's build a county improvement and let's run this just to see if we get any bugs. It shouldn't, I mean, we're not going to be able to tell very well. I'm just looking for bugs. We'll click around a little bit. Well, all right. So we're not getting any bugs. So now we have to test this. So I think what we should do is, see, this is going to test our heroes too. And the heroes, we shouldn't have loyalty tests if they're working. So let's fix that. So on keep, if population data is hero is equal to false, is not equal to true, then do this. And we can get this shit out of here. And this can go up one. And I guess this can go up one. Let's think about this for a second. If the population data is 0 is not equal to true, then it runs this shit. But then what we should do... Listen to me. That's a good idea. You know, I listen to, you know, mostly punk rock music, and some of it's in Spanish. I don't think I'm trying to think if I listen to any French. I want to, like, I guess Duolingo isn't that good anymore, or maybe never was that good. But I was thinking about Spanish last night, doing Duolingo for Spanish. Keep working at county improvement. So let's do it in here. And let's do a GD print in here. And we'll say, we'll put a $sign on here. This is going to get a lot of info. Days employed. Let's do this. Let's do a dash. And then we'll do this. And then we'll say days employed but idle. I don't know why I'm capitalizing some of this. And then we'll go down here and we'll go population data. And we're going to rename this. Not F. Control R, man. Days employed but idle. You know, my grandma, who, you know, she came from Montreal or Quebec City, somewhere in Quebec, and she told me that how she learned English was to whip out a French to English dictionary, and then or English to French dictionary, then try to read the newspaper and have to look up every word. So it's like that repetitive looking up the word made her, but this would be reading more than speaking. She had like a very thick French accent, even when she was old. But yeah, in this day, you know, she was probably doing that in the 50s or something. So you think ChatGPT, huh? So we got so we got the person's name, days employed, and Spanish would be the language I want to learn if I was going to learn a second, but I'm old too, so, and you know, but definitely Spanish I think would be the most useful for me. All right, let's see how this shit runs. We have that set on 7, so it's not going to hit any of that stuff. The numbers should go up, but we'll see. And we should see like a big list of people if we build something. But building, I guess, doesn't count. We're not checking on because the building does in. We should probably start seeing some numbers. We could take that out. I don't see any people. Oh, here we are. Let's look at, this is done being built. We got Dorothy and Ann. There's Elizabeth. There's Beverly. Okay, here's Anna. That's a Portland one. Here's Anne. Oh, is Dorothy not working there? No, Dorothy is above Anne. There's Dorothy. Days employed 2, but idle 0. I know from in French and Wolof. Because of copyright or because of the language? This is gonna be hard to test. Oh, because of the subject. There's a lot of songs like that. So that's why one of the reasons I don't put my music on is because besides the copyright issue, there's also like the issue of people. So a lot of punk rock is kind of offensive, you know. That's like kind of its thing. Yeah, reference to drugs. There's a lot of drug references in punk rock too. What's her name? Dorothy. Let's see what Dorothy has to say. Okay, so days employed 6. We're on 9, so it must have reset her days employed. She must have. Well, let's look. Is she still employed there? She's scavenging. Oh, but what if they... I don't think this is working. Also, this looks like this is going up by 2 numbers. This is also... So is this getting hit twice? So this is going okay, and then... No, so days idle is going... But these employed but idle is still going up. 1. Employed days idle. We have another... I think we have another... Did that say idle or did that say idle? Employed days idle. Employed... Come on, fingers. Employed days idle. Oh. We already have this in here somewhere. Where is this getting? Check enough goods. Well, this would have never worked. We're passing in this population data, but it's only checking one person. Oh, maybe we're hitting this with every person. Let's take this out of here. I think this is in a bad spot. I'm going to paste it in here, though, just in case we need it in a second. That a word in French was for boyfriend if they say it's a good friend. Oh. Chum? That's like English though, like from England. I guess we occasionally Americans use chum, but it doesn't mean boyfriend, and it's unisex. So it's like you could say in America, like, or maybe I've just been using it wrong, but and it would mean friend in Quebec French. There's all these like we were talking about that the other day. There's all these like little intricacies, colloquialisms uh, too. So this, let's double check where I put this thing, because this is in Check Enough Goods. And the new place it's being checked is we had some weird shit in here too. Days employed by Idle is also here. So we were doing it here, right? No, this is where it's giving us the number, but we were doing the count somewhere else. Well, hopefully I don't need that. We were doing the count in the Hallmaster for when it is gathering the stockpile goods. It does the stockpile. This is not a good place for this, actually, because it gathers the stockpile. We're going to have to put this somewhere. Let's cut this and put this on my clipboard as well. That doesn't seem that, there was some song that I was listening to, and I looked and it gave me, like, before it would play, it gave me some warning on it with YouTube Music about how it had suicide in it, and like I couldn't listen to the song until I said it was okay or whatever. And I thought that was extremely strange, because music is it's not supposed to be placid garbage. It's supposed to make you feel something, Um, and it's weird that that we have to like constantly warn everything. I wish I could remember the song, because it's not like I'm looking at my list because I listened to it sometime recently. It's like a very mellow. Let's see. Was it this song? I Go to Sleep by Annika? I don't think so. I don't remember who it was, but I was surprised that it was like, yeah, I can't remember. But it's like a mellow song, but it's about suicide, and it's like, it's weird that everything has to be. Wonder why that started, where everything has to be like warning and stuff. Like I said, art. So the whole point of art basically is make you feel stuff. It's like, if you look at art and it doesn't make you feel anything, then it's fucking pointless. Music is art. All right, so where are we going? Yeah, like that's some classic. So that's some classic uh, song lyrics. Like tons of musicians are drug addicts. I mean, I don't think I'm saying, and so I think it's part of like a lot of times the artists are wounded people and they're trying to uh, heal via art and drugs, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Usually it kills them, but it's kind of expected. So let's see, where's the best place to put this thing? So we need to check where they're idle, maybe the original spot. I don't like the hall master, it being in the hall master when it's gathering the goods, because that happens early and in a different spot. But we do need it at the start of day. So let's look at the start of day, because it's before they go to work. Maybe it is best for in the gathering of the stockpile. So are they going to be idle? I guess where I took that out, it does know if they're. This isn't a population thing though. It's gonna hit this county improvement. This is where I had it for a second there. So this is the start of the day. Yeah, and it's gonna add a person. Let's put this back in here. Except it's not gonna hit every person. So that is a bad place to do that. It's so not every person's gonna be employed but idle. Keep working in county improvement. That's fine. We'll save that. So then in the workday, we do have this deduct stockpile goods. This is per person. So we're taking out these stockpile goods. So wait, if we do it, where are we, when we're gathering these, are we firing people or people? What's going on with this gathering? Because then that means that deducting the stockpile goods, I think there's something wrong here. So we gather the stockpile goods, but let's say they don't have enough, then we go into the work. This is at the beginning of the day. We've gathered the stockpiled goods. We need it to spend the stockpile goods before. Let's think about this. So you got a stockpile of stuff, then you need to spend it before? No, I guess it will have it spend it at the end of the day, even though it's a little bit strange. But we will have it spend it at the end of the day. So that's going to go down to workday over. And then if they're on work, check if enough goods. Okay, so then this is where we just move some shit around. So if they have enough, if there isn't enough goods though, this is a per person thing. Here's where we do it. What's the name of this song that you're talking about? the band. If there isn't enough goods, add a day to days employed but idle. This is okay. So this is gonna hit here. It's gonna check if there's enough goods, and then if there is, it's gonna do that. They're gonna get their learning check, and it's gonna go do this. Okay. I'm gonna listen to it. I don't know if it's gonna be the type of music that I like, but I'm copying. I'm gonna go to my music. I guess I'm a picky music person. This is like blues or something. I'm not gonna make it so you guys can hear it though. Yeah, there's a lot of it starts with a harmonica. All right. If there's enough goods, add a day to the days employed but idle. If there isn't enough goods, and then we check, keep working it. Okay, so I think we cleared up some shit there. Let's rerun this. Oh, it's like reggae. It's like French reggae. Or it's almost ska. All right, we got to build something. Here we go. Oh, we don't know if the person's name is probably not Dorothy. Their person, Jerry. Jerry. We're not going to worry about that remove from thing. That's a different thing. Days employed. Okay, we should get hitting some numbers here. 1998 was when like there was a ska revival. But it's closer. It's kind of like ska. Okay, so what happens is this guy still is he passing his loyalty check? It looks like he is. But how would we know? We need to put in a thing in here. So this is counting up, right? This is what we want. We want this to count up, except that we want it when he fails. We need to know when he fails his loyalty check. Because maybe he's net. What was? Oh, I hit stop. I was wondering what his loyalty was. Let's put it in here. Let's put it in here. Oh, it has a middle strength bonus to it? Okay. Let's put it. No, we don't want to do every skill check. We might actually. I was ignoring those things popping off over there. Where was this? Workday over. Keep working. We could put. Yeah, this is totally like ska. At first I thought it was reggae, but that's that's a thing. You know, ska and reggae are very similar. I don't. What we can do, I guess, is we can go GD print, $, squigs, population data, first name, failed their loyalty check. And then we'll just keep an eye out for whoever the person's name is. And it's not going to be Jerry again. And I'm going to take a break in a second. Yeah, 1998, there was like so many ska bands. I don't know. They all, died. Not, not actually died. Their band, stopped. Let's speed this up. And okay, Gene is who we're gonna look at this time. And what we're looking for, so he shouldn't get a loyalty test. And this, it seems to always happen on day 3. That kind of makes sense because they're running out of things. Okay, so they failed their loyalty check. So what we need to do when a loyalty check is failed, we need to do population data, days employed equals 0, and population data, days employed but idle equals 0. But then let's go back to look at this. It's kind of this song kind of reminds me too, like a little bit of Peter Gabriel. And this song just ended. I'm gonna listen to this other song that you put over here. Let's see. This does not sound like ska. Well, okay, so it says he was removed. What I wanted to do is make sure that he was actually removed, and he was. This last person is working here. So I wonder why. Did everyone fail their loyalty check? I bet you. I'm going to let a day go by and see what happens. See, like I was saying, there's going to be a lot of like RNG. Oh, but they're not getting hired back? Oh, because it has low supply. So this one last person is sitting around. Christine, let's look at her. Okay, so she's about to hit her second test here. So she passed her first test for her loyalty test here. So she's still working there. She's about to hit her first test for because there's no supplies. She can't work there. Like there's no supplies for them to. There's no goods. So she's being loyal, and she passed that loyalty test. So she's hanging out, like waiting for supplies, which is kind of like I was. This is like this example is about as best as I would hope it could ever happen. I know it seems strange to want your people to stand around and wait for work, but this is the way I'm imagining it. Is like the person's so loyal that they're like just hanging out, like saying like, "Yeah, man, I'm ready to work," and like they're hanging out at the empty place. Like you asked me to work here. Oh, look, she has a 99% loyalty chance. No fucking way is this person ever quitting their job. All right, not no fucking way. They got 1%. No, that worked out great. That was a random amount. And so this person's going to be sitting here until the player actually either comes and fires them, because the player can get rid of them, can make them stop working there. All right, I'm going to go take a quick break. This song kind of reminds me of Meatloaf. You know that Meatloaf guy? Obviously, I can't understand what they're saying, but all right, let me and once again, I know you guys can't hear it. Let me take a quick break, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me pause this music, though. All right, I'll be right back. All right. I looked at this Discord message while I was outside. Oh, I gotta turn off my break timer. And someone actually sent me a message. I don't know if they were listening in chat uh, to what we were talking about. Here we go. We're joining Canada. Okay, just New York. Yeah, of course it's not gonna happen. There's like 10 succession movements in the United States that are just a bunch of hillbillies usually. This person's probably um, just trying to make some news. This is a terrible. What is this? News Nation. Look at this website. Uh, a Canadian sent me that. What is that one? It doesn't matter. There's a website that you can look up the leaning of a person or of a news site. Okay, so I think this is working. Was there anything else weird? They went back to scavenging and they're not working there anymore because there isn't enough supply. So you know what we should do is we should change the supply just to double check that something weird isn't going on. So I think it's under faction generate. It might be under county generation, where we have this number we can just put in. I guess it's not. Oh, that's county population. We need to do that county data. Like Eastern Oregon wants to move to Idaho, and they've always talked about the West Coast seceding. Where's our county generation? Here it is. There's a number we just put in. I think it's at like 5 or something. It might be under faction. Starting amount of each good. Oh, it's a global. We have 15. Let's put 100 so we can just test it and make sure these people aren't getting employed but idle for any reason. They should get that other loyalty test. We're going to look for John. Hopefully there's only one John. We'll let this run. It should run for an eternity. It went to another song from the same guy. This guy very much reminds me of like Meatloaf to a point. I'm going to go look at this other one that you suggested. And we're just letting time pass here. I did too much time pass. John's not doing anything. John, what are you doing? Nobody's working. Oh, I never built anything. They're all doing what they're supposed to do. Let's do this here. Okay. Now, John, what are you doing? And we can look at building materials because they have wood. This is going down by 10 each time. I don't think that's right. I think we have a bug in there. It shouldn't have taken all of it. It should have taken... Is this going as fast as it can go? It is. Okay, so this guy, now they've ran out of goods. So I think this is working right. This guy's really passing all of his loyalty checks, though. What's his loyalty? 91, makes sense. Somebody failed a loyalty check in there. All right, so that looks like that's working, but they are taking too much supply. They're stockpiling too much stuff. We had another thing in here, though, where we could probably check. Yeah. So we can see how much they took. We need to find... I need to put my... What does it look like? The October Louis Hebert. Is that what you mean? Am I on the right one? I know what you mean. Like sometimes they have different Portland. That doesn't look right. It should have been generating goods. Oh, except it ran out of stuff. So let's go back up though. There's something wrong here. These ones have 2,000 stockpiled. Well, oh, this guy, there's some English in this song. There's something wrong with how this stuff is getting generated. I need to find Portland buried in this garbage. Umatilla. Here's Portland. It doesn't say what day we're on here, and so I should probably put that into the thing. But like, look at these ones. But it's weird that I put stockpiled and then stock. Oh, this is the minimum stockpile is 2,000. Oh, this is for a garden. What do we have? We might have some ridiculous thing for a garden just for testing. I guess I could have looked at it a different way. We might have like a just for I threw in some like test number that's garden. Oh yeah, they need a bunch of wood. Okay, so that isn't wrong there. Let's find one that's for the Fisher shed though. Oh, damn it, I kicked my. Let's build Fisher shed. No, that's where on garden. Let's build Fisher shed. And we'll check here. Thought that was 6 people for a second. And we'll let this go for a minute. So they should have, well, you know what, we can check. So it should be using up wood. But there should be a, well, let's look in the code, I guess, is what we can look at. Gathering the stockpiled goods. Maximum stockpile amount is max days stockpile is 14. That seems really high now that I think about it. That's 2 weeks, so that's 140. That's going to take all of they are going to run out. They're going to take let's put it for 7 right now for this testing. It's funny that after that song ended, it switched to Weezer, you know, because it's taking what I normally listen to and it's like adding it into the playlist, but it tries to put something similar. So this guy's name is Paul. We're gonna build this. So that wasn't wrong. It was supposed to take all of it because there was so it should bring this down to 30. I'm gonna listen to this other one too. Oh, I clicked on it in OBS. Damn it. In OBS, if I click on chat, it gets all weird. Night in Paris. Radio in French. It's suggesting here, I'll bring this over. The Brian Jonestown Massacre. Those guys were in French. But this is what we're going to listen to. Well, I'm going to listen to it. You guys can't hear my music. It's just so I don't have copyright issues. You know, YouTube cares less about it than Twitch. Twitch is very... Oh, it's a duet with one person speaking English, one person speaking French. Oh, it has auto-tune. I have a no auto-tune rule. I don't understand how that's become so prevalent. All right, we need to find though. Well, actually, we don't. We can check this way. Sort of, because once it runs out, they should use up some, and then they're gonna start. Okay, they didn't do it today. Yeah, so after, I think this is working. So after it uses up, it should be using basically up the supplies. I don't know how we're going to test that. I mean, we can do it, but we might already have it in here. So there was a thing about goods produced somewhere in here. So this is the garden seems to have a problem. Oh, it's because it has a ridiculous amount for input goods. Let's look at, did I turn on my break timer? I did. I need to know where that, some of them have, like we get that producing number and then other ones we don't. See, like this, no, this is good, input goods versus amount. Goods generated 50. So Tillamook generated some goods. We need Portland. I want to go back to that radio in French. I'm gonna listen to it because I'm curious what this is. Oh, wait, put that one band, Les Colocs. They're totally like a ska band. It's crazy. I want to listen to the Brian Jonestown Massacre because I remember this. Blondie isn't in French. $2016? I don't believe it. I think everything's working here. This generation thing looks right. Until it runs out, let's keep running it and see, because it's about to run out of wood, if it stops generating stuff. And we'll see here. You know, this has stopped. Oh, wait. Okay, here we go. So it used up its stockpile. This is working. I don't know why I sound so shocked. Yeah, this is working. How many people are working here? And these two people have, look at this person has 100% loyalty. So they'll never stop working there pretty much. Yeah, they'll never stop working there unless they start starving. What is there? And we have food. It's going down fast though. Yeah, it's going down fast. They're going to start starving in a second here. Oh, because they're gonna scavenge to try to keep the food. Oh, now we're like at a. I don't know if that's working right. Why were we using so much food for a minute and then we stopped using so much food? Because everyone's starving to death? Starve. I don't know if I still have that thing in there. We had a little bit of food. Are people dying? These people are still working there. How much food does it say we have? 1 and 1 and 5. The numbers are right. Well, that's pretty normal for parents not to like what their kids are doing. We need to. I'm wondering if starvation isn't working right because we have messed around with a lot of code. People should be because we're barely like. Well, everyone's scavenging. Well, everyone but these two who are just sitting around waiting for. But we're like barely. We're keeping here. It's like they're not eating the food correctly. I don't think starvation's working. I think something broke. We should be having people dying at this point because we're not generating enough food, I don't think, for everyone. You know, I wonder if we could look at these people because I've changed some stuff. How would we get to them? We would go to here. Counties the faction owns. This is Portland. This one. Days starving is 0. You're first on the list, though. What about you at the end? Days starving 1. But you know what else would it be affecting? Okay, their loyalty is going down. What time? How? This is 89 days, so this is like. Pretty far. Well, 89 days is what, 3 months? And they've been just scraping by eating food, like just whatever food. I think it has them eat food like the person who's eaten the least amount of food for the longest time. But their loyalty is going down. These people were higher. I think he had higher than 90 because their happiness should be affected. Let's keep going here for a second. Because scavenging can bring in food is the thing. In this remnants number, isn't really changing. Occasionally they're going to want a remnant. Oh, look, these guys, they failed their, oh, and look, their shit's going down some more, but not as much as you would think. Let's see here. Days starving 2. Days starving 0. I think it's because they're scavenging. What about over here? They have 3 canned goods, 1 food, and 1 vegetable. I guess we should take a look at starvation because it doesn't seem to be that is there enough food? Population eats, happiness is added into the population eats food method. For each population data in the population data list, if the perishable food count is greater than 0, we sort it by the amount that they I think this should be out of this. I think there's something wrong in here. So I think this should be up here. It's going to sort the list regardless. We're passing in this list. No, this list is being created right here. Do I have any other? So it's going to sort this list, and then because we're going to use both these lists up here or down here. I mean, yeah, it's crazy that it put Blondie into this. Oh, Blondie has like 3 words. This song has like 3 words of French in it. Sunday Girl by Blondie. I'm trying to make bass. This thing's now it's now it's now it's doing we have a crazy list here of French music, French music with French lyrics. All right, so if there's the count is bigger than that, is higher than that. Oh, I see why this is in here. This is because some of this wouldn't work. Like if it's returning a list that's null, that it couldn't sort it, I guess, is probably the case. No. We're gonna put this back. All right, it's back in. No, we're gonna put this back in here. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. It's inside this if thing. If the people eat the perishable food that is the most, or yeah, have the people eat the perishable food that is the most. Where's this amount number coming in? Okay, so they try to eat 3, 2, 1, and the more food that they can eat, the better, the happier they are. And if there isn't enough food, it takes it from the list. Check to see if there's enough non-perishable food. So it eats the perishable food and then eats the non-perishable food. County population eats non-perishable food. See if there's enough non-perishable food. Otherwise, remove it from the list. Where's this else if coming from? Okay, so that's the perishable food. This is non-perishable food count. Oh yeah, it has this weird. Yeah. Let's put this starvation back. I don't even know if it's worth testing this right now because we're going to probably have to rewrite this too somewhat recently. But I think what's happening is they're just getting barely enough food to keep working or keep eating and living. But their loyalty is going down. It just doesn't go down very much. Probably we should, what we could do is in here. There's probably some sort of starvation penalty in this global. And so this is 15 days before damaged from starvation. So that's a long time too. What I'm looking for is like their starvation, And it might be one of these. Wonder if this is it. Die Heart. You know, somebody there was a Die Hard play here that I guess was here in Portland that I guess was pretty funny. Like it's a comedy. I don't know if it was a musical. So when these people are starving, what kind of adjust population amounts? What amount are we passing in here? So they just lose one happiness. So I think this is actually working, basically. We're going to have to adjust how much happiness they lose, but I think this is working. I'm going to put this a note, though. I mean, it's working, like, once again, like 90% of this shit, we're going to have to do, like, balance pass after balance pass after balance pass. Yeah, my friend went and watched that Die Hard musical? That's not how you spell musical. I think it must have been this. Portland. Yep, this is the one they went to. No, I know, but it's based on the movie. It's based on the movie. Yeah, because he told me it was at Funhouse Lounge. So this is gonna be under. I haven't watched Die Hard in fucking 100 years. I feel like. So for population AI, we're gonna put a note in. Here it is. Double check how much. Double check how starvation works and maybe increase the amount of happiness lost for starvation. It needs a balance pass, basically. All right. And then we're going to do this. They have like a dubbed French version of Die Hard. Wait, wasn't there? No, I guess everything's on the next round. That's true. Well, so we'll do that. Okay, 30 minutes left. So where's our list here? Because we actually accomplished something somewhat complicated too. This is done. We're going to close that issue. We have... Okay, so there's this weird thing for the county AI. It's in day end. So let's look at that. Why is it here in day end? Decide. So this is the AI. It's at day end though, and it feels like it should be at day start. Check if the county has enough food. If not, build a food building. So day start is going to come before. Okay, I know why this is in day end. I'm going to put a note here. It checks this so at end of day so that at day start all of the employment, etc. hits. All right, so that's why that's there. So that was easy to check. And we're going to close this issue. So now we have this weird, why is Douglas building a garden and not a fisher's shed? Douglas always builds a garden and not a fisher's shed. So that's part of this as well. So it's going to check if there's enough food in this county data. if food building is, so it's, and then it's going to find a county improvement of type food. This is somewhat old. Let's move this down here. So this is finding county improvement of type this with the faction resource type. No, that's right, because if it's food, and then it looks like there's probably no, this is, I was thinking maybe this was wrong. For each county improvement in the county data faction data, all county improvements, if the county improvement faction resource is equal to faction resource and the county improvement status is none. Why are we checking the status? This doesn't need to be here, I don't think, because the status, this is all county improvements. The status should always be none in all county improvements. All county improvements is just a list of all of their county improvements. So it should just be, it just should just go through this and it should hit. This would be this at the beginning. This is the beginning because we want to, this is going to be county, whoops, whoops. I've typed that like 600 times. County data item. The fuck is that? County name. Oh, I see what I was trying to do here. Find county improvement of type. This is not going to work. I don't know why it's finding the garden all the time for that. So this should check the faction data. So where's Douglas? Are you Douglas? You're Douglas. This is wrong. This is all wrong. Anyways. So here's the problem with this. We need to rewrite this whole thing. So before there was no like input data or input whatever, any of that crap. Let's run this and see if we get a bug. We're gonna kick this down the road. So what's happening is at the time, when we originally wrote this, there was no input goods or any of that shit. So it was just randomly picking stuff. Not even randomly. It was just grabbing the first thing off the list, and that's not gonna work anymore. What was that green thing that shot by? Oh, this is population eats food. A county population is empty. That's county population list is empty. How are these empty? We got some other issue here. Population eats food. If the count is less than 1, I vaguely remember this happening before, and there's actually a reason why it thinks these are empty. We should probably put where this is happening. We don't know where it is. Except I think we do Squigs. It's not called county population anymore. Oh, but we don't know. No shit here. All right, we'll just put this back. I don't think this is giving us what we think it is, or what I think it is. Where is it passing this in? Heroes. Oh, it's like these are the armies and the heroes. Okay, no, it should be doing that. So they should be flashing this. But that is a dumb comment, because we should put this down here. A population list such as hero list or army list is empty. It's checking all three of those, and they should be empty in certain spots. So that's less of a a disaster there. Damn it, I should have. Well, that's fine. I don't even remember what I was checking. County AI. I was just making sure there was no errors for the having this county AI do whatever it's doing, because we're gonna have to rewrite a bunch of that. Actually, we don't even need to build anything right now. We just need to make sure that we're not getting bugs. We're gonna have to clean up all this. Look at how much garbage we're throwing into the logs. All right, so that's gonna work for now. We're not getting bugs, so that's all that matters. We're gonna need to go to county AI, which is different than population AI. Where are you, county AI? Do I not have you in here? I don't have you in here. County AI is here, though. Oh, my song list has gone back to another. This song's like very, very happy. What is this song? It's another French song. It's Les Gens Bepré, Bio Dommage. I don't know. My terrible. It's like kind of like Beatles-esque. Okay, where the hell is my county AI? I have it over here, so it's got to be somewhere else. It's got to be one of these columns. Unless I like accidentally renamed it or something. Where are you, county AI? It's gone. County AI. Yeah, that doesn't help with columns. Maybe it's counties? No. Maybe I wrote that up and I never had a column for it. Maybe I combined it like in a population AI, but there is this difference. So let's add a new column, which I can't remember how to do. It's been so long. I think you got to go over here. Yeah. And then we go, well, here's a list, so we can. Yeah, I don't see it. So we're going to do county AI. Then we're going to do this, and I think we can tell it to move all the way. I would be wrong. This song's kind of good, actually. Suki, whatever. I was pronouncing it badly, so I'm just going to move it over here so you can see it. I don't know if you'll be into it. 1974. No wonder it was like Beatles-esque. All right, I'm putting this back over here. That was the year I was born. County AI. Guess we're just gonna have to drag it over here. I swear that we looked at this and there's a way to not have to drag this, but I guess not, because it's very tedious dragging this crap over. So we're going to have to rewrite that where it takes into account like how many resources and stuff it is. So there's faction AI, there's county AI, and there's population AI. I lost it. Where the fuck did it go? Camera, county AI. And so we're going to want to have it like check what resources. It has like a thing where it checks if there's enough food, but we need to check the input goods as well now. So that's what we're going to have to add to this list. We almost got this over here. What order? Yeah, so after saving and loading, probably. Probably after heroes too, because we've been wanting to get the whole point of setting up some stuff. Well, let's do. So I think we need to do saving and loading first because, well, man, it's gonna be hardcore to do saving and loading. It's gonna be around here somewhere. But what we need to do is have a note in here that says each AI county should check their starvation, their food level, and how many goods they have for input before they decide what they will build. And we'll convert this to an issue, and I'm going to put in here it currently, maybe not here. It currently just builds the first food building on the list, sort of. All right. So then we have that on the list. Let's go back over here. Man, saving and loading is going to be so brutal, but we got to do it. We already did this. We did this. So saving and loading is gonna be so brutal, but the problem is that we need to do it sooner than later so we can find our issues and use the and not do those same mistakes in the future. This song's intense. I gotta skip it. I know you guys can't hear it. Oh, this band is just called Quebec. That. So let's see here. Research is always going to be next. I guess we'll decide after we push this to main, but it's going to be around here somewhere. The whole goal of this was to get to heroes so we could add new things for the heroes to do, but this is taking so long. So we'll see. But we checked this, we can close this. And we found out why I was doing that. Are we going to do scavenging the same way as other work? I think it's scavenging is working fine now. Maybe we should double check. How much time do I got left? 10 minutes? Yeah, let's double check how scavenging is working. So when workday is over for population, it hits this generate scavenged resources. This is in the banker. We probably shouldn't have it in the banker. It should probably be in population work. So it generates the scavenged resources with a skill check, which is you get a bonus or not. What is it? This is the amount generated. And then it's count, but what is it picking the... Okay, here's the canned good versus... So the idea I was thinking is that I think we'll just leave it like this. Let's not throw extra work on our plate for no apparent reason. I was thinking about using so when they work at a place, they generate like 10 points. And I was thinking like maybe we have it generate 10 points. Let's just not, like I said, we don't need extra work and we'll probably have to rewrite that at some point anyways. So we'll just close this for now. I mean, for good. Okay, so now we're almost there. We just did this. Double check how the AI is selecting improvements to be built. We can close this one. We found out that it's not doing it how we want it. So we're going to kick that down the road for some other point. Get out of here. There we go. Thank you. Oh, this looks good. We got 1, 2, 3. These ones are kind of whoppers. These are kind of big ones. So, and these are the same, but I had a note in here just so I don't forget. Pick between inputs such as wood and remnants. That's what we will work on next time. I'm going to push this code. Look at all these files that we fuck with because I renamed that thing. Renamed county population to population data. Then what else did we did? Double checked a few things, and loyalty checks are now working how we want. We're gonna commit this. Man, this song has like a fiddle and shit in it. A lot of this music is, you know, and this is not the music that you suggested, Suki. I don't even know if you're still around, but a lot of this music has like kind of like a country flair to it, which I'm surprised by, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised. But it's interesting. Let's see. So we committed that. Look at this. We're still on scouting equipment. And we already wrote that. Did I push it? Successfully pushed? Yeah. Why is the banker unchanged? What did we do to the banker all of a sudden? Oh, I deleted that line just now. We can leave that for next time. We don't need to commit for that one line. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. I feel like we're getting close. I know I say that all the time, but we're getting close, and we're gonna get done with this thing soon. I'll be so happy. And I'm no longer. I was looking at the code for like our next thing. So when we finish this, let's say we go to here, because we might change this order. But let's say we go to here. It's gonna I'm gonna make our branches very much smaller. Like the branch would be this one thing. I don't want to have like, you know, push to main every day, but I want to have it much smaller than the way I was doing it, where we put in this massive thing and then it took, you know, 3 months, 4 months to get this done. So I want to have it like maybe a month per little branch that we do, so that it looks better. So basically the thing is that when I look at projects on GitHub, you know, I'll go to here and I'll just kind of glance at this, and I would say we're at 4 months, and I would be like, oh, this is abandoned. You know, I don't even bother looking how many branches are. So if someone was to look at this, they wouldn't understand that I've been pushing code. So anyways, that is why I want to have smaller branches, so it's obvious that shit's getting done. Yeah, and like this is all outdated because obviously we've updated this 1,000 times. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. Thank you for joining me. I will talk to you next time. Have a good existence.